Yo, 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 salute to everybody that's been checking out Adventures of Stu. We 11 episodes in. Appreciate y'all. Trying to figure out whether or not I'm going to continue it or not. But as you know, this series is based off a character named Stu, who's a crossing guard in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's based off of an actual person that I've encountered in real life. Many of you may know who it is, but the individual is a very pathetic person, weak person that no one really respects or takes seriously. He always gets the short end of the stick in a lot of situations, but once you begin to feel sympathy or empathy for him, his true self and who he is and how he conducts himself, ends up giving you understanding as to why people in his life treat him a certain type of way, or why his life is a certain type of way. He has a woman that he's not really in a relationship with. He can't maintain relationships or friendships. That's why you always see him alone. But these women speak to him any kind of way, and because of his weakness, they talk down to him. They disrespect him. He is not looked at or portrayed as a man because he lacks man qualities. Now, some of these things are fiction and for laughs, but a lot of this is true. As you can see, this character lives in a motel. The real life person does go home to a motel. On many occasions, we've seen it. There was a beating at the hands of 3 white men, to where this individual shot off at the mouth and was handled by 3 white men. This individual does in fact eat fast food burgers on most nights. The individual does wipe himself after using the bathroom with washcloths and has admitted it. Now, like I said, some of these things are purely fantasy, but is an air of truth in everything. I have predicted many things about this person from the time I encountered them, because of how much energy they place into dragging other people down or trying to belittle people who they think are weaker than them. And they waste a lot of energy doing that. Usually those type of people are miserable, and it's some shady, unsavory things in their lives that makes them hate their lives. So typically people like that are kind of like closeted weirdos or do weird things. That's why you see some of the things this individual is doing in this series. I'm not a fly on the wall, but I'm willing to bet that this individual, if he doesn't do these things, he does similarly weird things. I just can't see them. But I have predicted certain things. Like from the get-go, I've said, and you all have witnessed, this individual is weak and probably gets talked to any kind of way by women when he can get them. That this individual probably is the type that'll pick up drug-addicted prostitutes. Who can remember the time, and I've brought this up before, and I conned him and told him that I knew someone from where I was from that was where he was from, and which is true. And I did have a conversation with them, and they assured me that he was no tough guy or no gangster. But I made up a part of it because I wanted to poke around. I said, if this is true, this is going to be a classic. So I lied to him and told him that this person told me that he picked up drug addicted prostitutes, and what he said was, everyone has paid, and I might have found out later that they were on drugs, but I didn't know, and stop bringing up my past. I said, this dummy let me fool him into telling on himself. So who knows what else I'm right about? And who can forget the Shrink episode? Jealous, delusional, hater, negative, dishonest, needs attention, insecure, and low self-esteem. Look at the notes the Shrink took. He has exhibited those things time and time again, and any of us who have really followed him knows that. Look at his lives. He does try to portray himself as a gangster, and he comes off as a lame. The way he talks, his lingo, the way he carries himself, you can look and tell that he's just a regular, degular, schmegular kind of guy. But he wants to portray otherwise. He does need to move on. I realize that being near and around myself and 3 other individuals was a highlight for him in his YouTube career, but it's time for him to move on. As I said, there is a healthy obsession with IV. That's why you see IV is everywhere. He can't escape IV. That's why IV is always on his mind. Someone has to be larger than life for you to always have to speak and bring them up, talk about them, include them in your everyday life. You have to see them even in your dreams. They have to be at every turn and everywhere you look. They have to be a big time superstar and celebrity. So you are obsessed and you admire them, but you're jealous at the same time. And it is downright hilarious. And this is based on a true story. Check it out if you haven't. The Adventures of Stu. Like, share, subscribe.